Alright, hello everyone, how's it going? This is Space here, and welcome back to another episode of Spacing Out Vlogs. So today we have a very different video. I usually talk about random things, usually movies, but this time, I've done a comic video before, but I'm doing another one, so very excited. This is going to be kind of my comic collection, yes. Only these sort of trade paperback guys, and not actually like loose leaf comics. That'll take forever. I went through all of those. Maybe one day I will, but until then, here's what we've got so far. So if you didn't know, I'm actually a comic fiend. Yes, I love comics, love reading them. So I've been reading a lot recently. I've been getting more comics. I've got a big backlog to get through. Very excited. Yeah. It's been a fun time. I run an audio drama channel that makes a lot of Marvel stuff, so it helps to actually, have some source material and to have some knowledge of comics. So yeah, I'm just going to run through these. I won't have a lot to say about some of them, I'll have more to say, but yeah. Before I do have this, here's some of my favorites, I guess, or just sort of things that I like keeping out. I usually put all of my loose leaf comics in boxes and stuff like that, but these are some that I like keeping out. We've got the two new Ultimate Spidey comics. These are amazing. Love them. If you've not read these yet, highly recommend. Even if you're not a comic fan, if you like Spider-Man, amazing. I got the variant covers. Those are awesome. Really, you get to see Peter as an adult and everything. You get to see him with a family. Something that I know that at least me and a lot of other Marvel Spider-Man fans have been really looking for, and in the comics, and here we are. I just got this recently, Petrol Head by Image Comics, who also make, of course, Invincible. This is really cool. I like this a lot. It's got some really nice art. Look at this. Look at that. Yeah. What's some other good stuff? Look at that. Amazing, right? There's actually 4 issues out of this right now. I've only read one. I'm going to wait until there's a volume of this, which comes out in June, I believe. So I'm going to wait until June to read the rest, but I'm not sure how long the series will last. At least the next 3 issues that are out right now. I can't wait to read those, but that was cool. Just put that there just so I remembered that exists. And then here's one of my favorite comics of all time. That is, of course, Moon Knight by a controversial figure in comics, Warren Ellis. But some of my favorite comics right here, and some of the best. And unfortunately, these right here are expensive in this, so it's like $100. So I'll stick with these for now. Maybe one day, but for now, I'm good with that. So, anyways, those are just sort of some of the loose sleeve single issue comics that I have just hanging around. I'm gonna keep these here. I'm gonna put all the Ultimate Spider-Man comics in here, so because they're awesome. Anyways, now on to these, the trade paperbacks. It's going to be kind of hard. There's just a few things in the way of this, isn't there? Alright, first up we have the Invincible Iron Man. This is a Marvel Masterworks, which is a collection of classic Marvel comics. I have a few of these, actually. I have a few Amazing Spider-Man ones, spoiler alert, but these are awesome. If you ever want to read classic Marvel comics for pretty affordable, these aren't too expensive. I actually got this secondhand, so it's even cheaper. But on Amazon, if you look them up, you'll probably see that the prices aren't too bad. Yes, thank you for sponsoring this video, Marvel. No. But yeah, but seriously though, yeah, these are great. The classic Iron Man stuff is pretty fun. Very much a product of its time. Very much influenced by the Cold War, so that is very interesting. Very enjoyable, cool art, of course. I've had this forever. Marvel's First. This is a collection of different comics that started in the 60s. I'm pretty sure they had a few of these, they probably had 70s and 80s and stuff like that. I'm not sure how far they stretch up to, but yeah, it's a pretty awesome little thing here. Of course, Spider-Man is in there, Thor, Iron Man. A lot of classic comics appeared and started in the 60s, including, of course, the Avengers. You can see right there, yes. Have not read that in a while, but it's a really cool thing that I'm glad that I have. A lot of these I haven't read in a while, or maybe haven't read, but I got some of these super cheap for so many years. I've probably had some of these for more than 10 years. This thing is old. I do not know anything about this one. Marvel superhero team up. I know that there's probably some Marvel superheroes in there, and I'm guessing they team up. So, speaking of not, probably not read, I just got a bunch of these random comics that I just don't have any knowledge of. But here is X-Men First to Last. He's got the classic X-Men there. That's Beast, by the way, before he has all of his hair and stuff. That's what classic Beast looked like. But yeah, I'll probably read that one day. Speaking of not read, Marvel Ultimate X-Men. Never read it before, but I do have it, so that's cool. I have 2 actually. I have that one, and I have this one. So yeah, I don't know anything about those. I know some stuff about Ultimate X-Men, but yeah. Here we have a collection of classic X-Men comics. There's a lot of cool stuff in there. some of the earlier issues of X-Men. This is all like this is like a super cheap volume, so if you ever want to like get a bunch of these comics and just like on a certain character or something and like have it super cheap, there is no color in these. I would open them, but then everything would fall. But yeah, so there's actually like, these are not, they're pretty much like newspaper. They don't have any color. Newspaper has color, of course, but you know what I mean. Like, it's all in black and white, so it's interesting. So it's pretty cool. Now this I've read recently, Wolverine the Brotherhood, amazing, by Greg Rucka. It's fantastic. My friend Joe recommended it to me, and I read it, and I was like, this is great. So, very much sort of like a kind of a noirish take on Wolverine. Not like noir in the sense that like, you know, like Spider-Man noir or anything like that, but sort of like the style of it and everything. And yeah, starts off with a cool sort of way to introduce the story and continues on from there. And I don't want to spoil it, but it's great. So, now I don't know why I have this one, to be honest. Avengers vs. X-Men. I haven't read it in a long time. I used to keep up with it when it first came out, and it's fine. I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest. It's okay. But I have it, so that's kind of cool. That's like one of the events that I have. So there you go. It's okay. It's fine. Not really something I'm interested in, but for you guys, maybe it's something you could like. Here we have Avengers: The Children's Crusade. It's a pretty cool one. I'm not sure if it's like a classic, like considered like that's a classic and that was a hit. But I enjoyed it. Pretty cool. Haven't read it in a while though, so I don't know too much about it. I don't remember too much about it. This is the only Fantastic Four comic that I have, which is kind of pathetic. I have Ultimate Fantastic Four. I think this is volume 9, so I'm missing a few volumes, I think. But I got that as a kid. I've had it for such a long time. Don't remember anything about it. Here we have another Masterworks. We have Spider-Man. This is If This Be My Destiny on the cover. And it's the Master Planner arc. This is amazing. Got some, well, it's amazing. Spider-Man, of course, amazing. But got some classic comics in there. Classic Spider-Man run, of course, by Stan Lee. I'm not sure if this is still when Steve Ditko. Yeah, Steve Ditko and John Romita Sr. there. So, classic Spidey all the way back in towards the beginning. This is number 4, and this is number 5. Spider-Man No More by John Romita and Stan Lee, of course. So that's also another classic one. Yes, I love these ones very much. I've read both of them. They're awesome. I love the classic Spider-Man stuff. It's very fun. Speaking of classic Spider-Man, this is the original Ultimate Spider-Man. I just have 1 and 3. I did not understand as a kid that, I guess I didn't look at the spine, but I thought these were just like, oh, well, they're both red, so there we go. But yeah, there's actually a blue one in between. They went red, blue. So number 2 is blue. So I'd love to get number 2 so I can actually like have more of these. There's about like 20 of these or something, like 23, 26. I'm a little behind, aren't I? Ultimate Spider-Man, of course, is a classic take on Spider-Man. Well, it's a new take on Spider-Man, but it's become a classic because it came out in the early 2000s, and it has, of course, been influential ever since. So, very cool. Here we have Black Panther. Who is the Black Panther, I believe is what it's called? Yeah. I don't know, man. I think I've read this once, but I don't really remember it. It does have artwork by John Romita Jr., which is cool. But, yeah, that's the only Black Panther thing that I own, sadly. Here is Daredevil, one of my favorite characters. This is a essential collection, just like the X-Men comics. It also is in all black and white, but it collects a lot of classic Daredevil comics, so there we go. I don't remember this one. I've probably read it once, but it's been a long time. But it's cool to have, just all those X-Men comics in there. Here's one of... Oh, boy. Now I did it, huh? Oh, okay. Let me fix this. Okay. Alright, thank you, guys. There we go. Here we have Daredevil, The Man Without Fear. This is by Mark Waid, very classic. This is the Daredevil that I grew up with. When I first started getting into comics, my friend was really interested in Daredevil, so I became interested in Daredevil. And I read this, and this came out around the time when I was really getting interested in comics, so I started keeping up with it. I read a lot of the comics. I have a lot of them still in boxes and stuff that I will not go out and get, but yeah, this is a great run. I really liked it. It's definitely a little bit more of a lighthearted take on Daredevil, but yeah, amazing artwork and just some great stories in there. I have 2 of those actually. I have this, and then I have this one right here. So that's also Mark Waid as well. Classic. Speaking of classics, Daredevil Yellow is another classic. It's sort of this looking back on Daredevil's history in a cool way, by Jeff Loeb and art by Tim Sale. 2, of course, icons. Jeff Loeb. Also a little bit of a controversial figure. But, yeah, this is part of their Color series. They had Daredevil Yellow, they had Captain America White, Spider-Man Blue, one of their most notables, and then Hulk Gray. They're all sort of like reflecting back on their history, looking at iconic moments from the comics and stuff like that, with some narration from the present. So it's really cool. Cool sort of storytelling bits there. Daredevil Guardian Devil, which I did not know I had this. Oh my goodness. Well, guess what I'm reading soon? I completely forgot that I had Guardian Devil. That's insane. This is one that's pretty highly regarded. You've got Kevin Smith, art by Joe Quesada, and this guy, Jimmy Jimmy, our friend Jimmy. And this is a pretty iconic one that I just did not know I had. That is insane. Okay. That's wild. That is so wild. I did not know I had that. Here we have, I believe, yeah, this is Bendis, classic comic writer, one of the creators of a lot of different characters, including Miles Morales and Jessica Jones. So, classic right here. I don't actually know what this is. Which one is this? Wake Up. I don't think this is the one. I'm pretty sure this isn't the one with Echo, but it's got some cool art. I'm actually taking this one up because I haven't seen this one in a long time. Really amazing art from this run, from the early thousands, I believe. Perhaps the late 90s. I'm pretty sure it's the early thousands. I've got to figure out how to get this back in. But here we have The Devil's Hands. I don't know what this one is either, honestly. See, I'm still in shock that I have freaking this, Guardian Devil. That's so wild. I didn't know that. It's so weird. Anyways, though, here's my most recent, one of the more recent Daredevil runs, one of the most recent comics that I bought, actually. This, of course, is Daredevil No Fear by Chip Zdarsky. Amazing, amazing. If you're looking for some good Daredevil stuff, it's right here, buddy. It's so good. The first 5 issues are collected in this, and the first 5 issues, ooh, so good. The rest of the series is great too, but the first 5 issues were so good. Yes, so amazing. Here we have Shadowland. This was going on about the time I started reading comics. Don't really remember too much about Shadowland, but it has some cool art and stuff like that, so that's awesome. Here's like the only Ghost Rider thing that I have. Heavens on Fire. I don't remember it, but it's by Jason Aaron, who's a classic, iconic comic writer who has most famously written for Punisher. I think he might have done some Darth Vader stuff, maybe? I don't know. Could be wrong about that. But he's written for Punisher. He's written especially for Thor. He is the person that created Gore, the God Butcher. So, for Love and Thunder, that's all Jason Aaron. Thanks, buddy. No, but seriously though, Jason Aaron's stuff is awesome. We'll be talking about that later too. So, I've never read that, I don't think. So, here is my all-time favorite comic, Hawkeye, by Matt Fraction and David Aja. Did the art. So, other people did the art too. You've got some of these people here. Annie Wu, fantastic. Javier is pretty good. I like Javier's art, but he's not. I personally prefer David, and then after him, I prefer Annie. But still good artwork nevertheless. This tells the tale, of course, of Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, and Clint Barton. Both of them take significant roles in sort of their daily lives and everything, and sort of the different things they go through. The artwork is phenomenal. It's a very creative way of telling the story. So. Recommend that. It's so good. There's a lot to get through as well. There's like 22 issues or something like that. So I reread that recently, earlier this year. So here we go. Next we have Warriors Free, Dog Day Afternoon. This one actually isn't talked about very much. I don't really see too much positive feedback on this. People that I've seen so far, honestly, looking at reviews, just seem to think it's okay. I liked it. I thought it was pretty fun. Warriors Free, of course, are Thor's friends. You've got Fandral. You've got... Volstagg, my brain just broke for a second. And you've got Hogan. Those are classic Thor characters that don't get a lot of love sometimes. You don't see them. You see them in comics, but you don't really see them in the movies that often. And when they are in the movies, they kind of get killed off, don't they? So I'm still angry about that. No, but yeah. So Warriors Free. I just really think the characters are cool, and I was glad that they got their own sort of run. So this was pretty cool. I read this like a few years ago. It's a fun time. I liked it. Here we have one of my favorite Thor runs. We have Thor by J. Michael Straczynski, an amazing writer, if that name sounds familiar. He wrote, he's the creator of Babylon 5. He wrote famously for Spider-Man. He wrote probably the best Spider-Man run ever, or one of them at least. It depends on who you ask. But this is also the basis for the first Thor movie from 2011. So It's a lot different than the first 4 movie because this one deals with the aftermath of Ragnarok. So, but there's definitely a lot of influence there. You can see there's a lot of different beats in here. That's like, yep, reminds me of the movie. So, amazing artwork too. Love this. I've got second volume as well. Very cool. For some reason the logos are different. This one is red and white, and this one is white and red. I don't know what they were doing, but they were doing something. Now this is from Avengers vs. X-Men. Now I just said that I didn't care about this, but this right here, that's the good stuff that came out of Avengers vs. X-Men. Carnage is pretty good. Hobgoblin, this guy right here, of course, obviously. No, but Hobgoblin's on the back. It's amazing. It's a lot of fun. It's only 3 issues long. It's great. I loved it. Very fun. Here we have the classic Deadpool stuff. This, of course, starts off with New Mutants, and it runs through different various appearances of Deadpool as he slowly becomes... he goes from a villain to an anti-hero, to the guy that we know today. It's pretty good. Deadpool is pretty good. Classic stuff is fun. What I prefer, actually, what I grew up with... this bad boy. Deadpool by Daniel Way. Yes. There are 4 volumes of this. I have 2. And one of them, I don't know where it is. I have the first volume here, though. I loved this as a kid. This was a comic I really wanted as a kid. I saw Deadpool in a comic, and I was like, oh, this guy's so cool. I'd love to get this. I got it. So, this is really fun. It's a great time. It's probably one of my favorite Deadpool comics. I've not read very much Deadpool. I've only read this and like a few other things here and there. I read Back in Black, I believe is what it's called, which was from like 2015 or something. It's fine. It's alright. It's good. It's good. It's fine. So if Deadpool got the symbiote suit instead of Spider-Man, it's pretty good. It's fine. I don't mind it. It's okay. I've read some of like Deadpool and Spidey and stuff, Deadpool and Hawkeye. I used to keep up with another Deadpool run. I don't remember what it was, but he used to have like this like demon girlfriend or something. If that rings any bells, please let me know what run that was, 'cause I like that actually. It was pretty fun. So Deadpool isn't like my all-time favorite character, but this is fun. I wouldn't mind actually reading more Daniel Way. It's pretty good. Okay, next up, this Deadpool team-up. I almost said video, but no, it's not a video. I don't know who wrote this, but I don't even know what this is, honestly. It's volume 3, so who knows what this could be. This is pretty fun. Of course, he's teaming up with different characters and stuff like that, so I remember enjoying it. I read this like, it's probably been a while, but it's pretty good. I liked it. It's fun. Captain America War and Remembrances. I don't really know fully what this is. I've read it before, but I think it's like classic. I'm pretty sure this is like I thought I had a collection of classic Captain America comics. This might be what that is, but it's pretty good. It's cool. Captain America is awesome. I don't remember what this is. It looks really cool. Look at this, though. Look at the artwork on this cover. That's awesome. I'll have to read this sometime. I don't think I ever read this by Paul Jenkins. I don't know who that is, but he's probably awesome. So, of course, Paul Jenkins, yes. Now here is probably my favorite Captain America run so far that I've read. I haven't read too much, but I've read a fair bit. Well, I wouldn't say a fair bit. I've read this and some other stuff. But Ed Brubaker's Captain America is fantastic. This is where the Civil War. This is where the Winter Soldier comes into existence. Ed Brubaker created Winter Soldier with his team, and that comic series was amazing. So, loved it. Here's another one, No Escape. I think this is also, I won't say actually what that is, but something happens in the comic that makes a change. Marvels, one of my favorites as well. It's a classic by this man right here, Busiek, and of course Ross, Alex Ross. Really amazing. It's sort of like a look at the Marvel Universe. It goes through the lens of this photographer, writer guy, and he's sort of like seeing all of these different iconic Marvel events happening. I wish I could like open this and like look and show you guys. Let's sacrifice the stack real quick. The artwork is really incredible. This is Alex Ross right here that did the artwork, and yeah, it's crazy good. Like, look at that. That's awesome. There's a lot of crazy moments in this too, and here, let me see if I can find this real quick. There's like a list of like references that this comic has. Like it has so many. Yeah, here we go. This is just the first issue, and it's still okay. No, it's not actually the first issue, but there's a lot of references in here for different comics throughout the years. It's really cool. Sort of a larger look at the trash bag falling. But a larger look at the Marvel Universe in such a very cool way. So let me put this back. Okay. Civil War. Of course, classic. kind of a must-have, I guess, for any collection. Civil War is pretty good. I read it when I was younger, and it's fine. Not my favorite, but I think it's cool. Which is probably weird to say, but I'm not huge on big events, but I think they're cool. But Civil War is pretty cool. It's probably one of the better big events. Now here's something I like even more. I haven't read this comic in a while, so this could be like terrible actually. But Secret Invasion I think is cool. It's probably my favorite concept, at least as far as bigger, larger events. And I've got this Captain Marvel Secret Invasion. Yes, this is the man Captain Marvel. So Marvel. I got this at Toys R Us like so many years ago, 70th anniversary of Marvel. Has a lot of classic Marvel comics in here, it's pretty cool. Also very old too, I've had this for a long time. Death of Mark Spector by Benson. Oh. Great replaces. No, but yeah, it's fine. I think Benson stuff is fun. Bendis, Benson, some of the earlier Moon Knight stuff, like the early thousands, is okay. But where it gets better, man. Jed MacKay's Moon Knight is one of the best comics that is running right now. It moved on to The Vengeance of Moon Knight, but he's still writing it. He's amazing. I really recommend it. One of my favorite Moon Knight comics. Not my favorites, but one of my favorites. So, I've got I've got 1, 2, and 3, which is the Midnight Mission. This one. Too Tough to Die. And then Halfway to Sanity. Now the 4th one is out, I'm probably going to pick that up eventually. And the 5th one will be coming out soon as well, and sometime later this year, which is the final one. So I'm definitely going to make sure I snag all of those so I can have the complete collection. Here's some, most of the stuff is Marvel, but I have like some Batman stuff tucked away, and we've got the rest of the stuff down there. And I've got just a few more things to talk about, but anyways. Ed Brubaker's Batman, it's pretty good, I mostly got it because of Ed Brubaker, because I really liked his, you can see right there, there you go, that's better. I really liked his Captain America, so I thought I'd check out his other stuff. That's pretty good. He has some good Daredevil stuff as well, which is awesome. A classic Frank Miller's Batman Year One. Amazing. What can I say that hasn't been said about this? All the things you've heard about it, true. It's really good. Not my favorite. It is one of my favorites, but my favorite. Batman: The Long Halloween, which is actually one of the bases for The Dark Knight, which is cool. I Believe in Harvey Dent comes from this. It's very cool. It's a murder mystery, and there's a sequel, which is pretty good. Dark Victory, which in my opinion isn't as good as the first one, which of course is The Long Halloween, but it's still pretty good. It's got Robin there too. Can't go wrong with that. So, yeah, both of them are murder mysteries, and they're very fun. This one is the Holiday Killer, I believe is what they're called, and this one is the Hangman or something like that. So, anyways, of course, obviously, I'm a comic book fan, so I have to have Watchmen. I just finished reading this earlier this year. Amazing. Really, really great stuff. Iconic and very well written and well drawn by Dave Gibbons. So, fantastic. I just have this. This is just like some random, like, essential graphic novels. Okay. So, here we have Batman the Black Mane by Scott Snyder. Scott Snyder is a very, very big name in Batman, so this is pretty cool. Sort of a random pickup that I got at the secondhand store one day and decided to look at it, and it's pretty cool. I like this. It's good stuff. Got some good comics in there. A little bit underrated. I just have like all of these like Clone Wars comics from back in the day. There's more than 4 volumes, but I have like the first 4 volumes. Pretty cool. Got Count Dooku on there. Got Anakin on 3. On 2, I believe is Mace. Or no, 1 is Mace Windu. 2 is Obi-Wan, and then 1 Mace Windu. I haven't read these in a long time, so I don't remember them at all. And I also have Blood Ties as well. This is a cool. I think Jango and Boba Fett. Loved that as a kid. It's really cool. And then I also have the full collection of Hawkeye, so I don't really need this, but I kept this just because. So, anyways, one last thing before we move on to the end of the video. So I have a little bit of a backlog to get through. But here's what I'm reading right now. I'm reading the Epic Collection of Amazing Spider-Man, which is Kraven's Last Hunt. This is incredible so far. I've read Kraven's Last Hunt before, but there's some of these I have not actually read. This has a lot of iconic comics in here. Of course, the artwork is amazing. A lot of cool writers. This is underrated, by the way. Spider-Man Annual number 20, I believe. The Man of the Year from 1986. is so good. It's so good. Here's the comics in here. We've got, of course, Spider-Man and Man of the Year. We've got High Tide, the Hobgoblin Revealed, Mask, Wages of Sin, The Big Question, Dark Journey, Growing Pains, the Big Wedding issue, which is very iconic, and then there's the rest of that is just Kraven's Last Hunt. So, see if I can find the wedding issue. Let's see. This is, of course, you'll recognize it. If you aren't familiar with this, you may recognize this iconic cover. Ta-da! The wedding issue, yes. This is amazing. The 80s were fantastic for Spider-Man, so it's sensational. This is, I'm not going to collect all the Epic Collection, these are a little pricey, but if you're looking for any Epic Collection and you like Spider-Man, right here. That's all you need. No, that's probably not all you need, but it's amazing. So, of course it is. But, Ms. Marvel, big fan of Ms. Marvel. I read the first run, which is 19 issues, and it takes place right before Secret Wars, the Jonathan Hickman one from 2015. And I have the second set of comics here. I read the first one of Marvel Unlimited, but I was like, oh, I would love to read the rest of these, all 30-something of these, but I ran out of time, so I was like, all right, I'll just get these in paperback, and then I'll be able to read them at my leisure. So I've not started these yet, but I'll probably start these fairly soon. I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to read the one I'm about to talk about in a second, but yeah, Ms. Marvel is amazing, and I've got a lot to read as well. So, looking forward to that. I love these little books as well. They're cool. The artwork is amazing as well. Look at that. Yeah. Very good. Anyways, I just got this literally today. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. So excited. This might be my next read after Spider-Man. I'm really excited. This looks amazing. The artwork, look at that. Tom King as well. Some people aren't as big of a fan of Tom King for reasons, but I like Tom King. I think Tom King is awesome. I've read Human Target. I've read, I'm blanking here. I've read Human Target. I've read Gotham Year One. Pretty cool. I'd love to read Mr. Miracle. Definitely want to get that someday. But this looks great, and of course it's the basis for the movie coming up. So very excited for that. Yes, so Supergirl, very cool. Next up we have X-Men Days of Future Past. I'm not sure if I've ever read this before. I have this digitally as well. I got this digitally years ago, but now I have this, so I'm going to read this if I haven't read this before, or reread this if I have read this before. So, of course, a very iconic comic, and written by Chris Claremont, and of course John Byrne. I'm very terrible with names, but who's this guy? Eastman? Yeah, Eastman. Anyway, speaking of iconic comics, we have the Infinity Gauntlet. Yes, I think I read this once. I didn't really appreciate it as much as a kid, so I'd like to read it again and give it a second shot. But I think this is going to be great. I think I'll like this a lot. I was looking for the art is really cool. Look at that. Classic. Yeah. This is also, believe it or not, Jim Starlin is also the writer of Death in the Family, the famous Jason Todd story. So there you go. Ford's got a beard. Look at that beard, man. That's crazy. That's a crazy beard. They went freaking hard with this, by the way. Jim Starlin wrote pretty much all of this stuff, which is insane to me. You've got Infinity Gauntlet, then you have Infinity War, then you have Infinity Crusade. Still Jim Starlin. You have Infinity Watch. You have End of Marvel. Classic. You have some Thanos stuff. All Jim Starlin. Crazy, man. What's wrong with this guy? He's going hard with it, man, right? Really looking forward to this. I got this at the secondhand store. Look at that right there. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, so I'm looking forward to reading that. I'm very excited. I don't know what order I'll read this in. I'll probably finish that, then probably Supergirl. I should probably start Ms. Marvel, but I don't know. I also might read this soon, and there's too much stuff to read. I gotta read everything. Here is Punisher Max. I've never read any Punisher Max. This is these waivers. Got this at a request of a friend, so looking forward to reading this. And it happened to be the only one. I'm doing something with this that I can't say, but we happened to choose this one right here, and it happened to be the only one that had at my secondhand store, so it's perfect. It's destiny, right? I've flipped through this a little bit. It looks really cool. Punisher Max seems awesome. Written by Warren Ellis. Garrett Garth Ennis. The names are close, but they're two very different people. Remember when I said we'd talk about Jason Aaron again? Here is another one of my favorite Thor runs. This is Jason Aaron's Thor, the God of Thunder, which serves as the basis for Love and Thunder. So trust me, no, I know, but the comics are much better. It's okay, trust me, this is better. I know Thor, Love and Thunder, but it's good. Read this instead. But I have the first 3 volumes. This series went on for 7 years, by the way, so it changed a lot throughout the years. You've got this, you've got the Mighty Four, you've got Original Sin, a lot of stuff. Jason Aaron stuck it out, man. It's awesome. Here is Thor, God of Thunder, the God Butcher. Of course, you know, Gore, the God Butcher, is in here. There's this freaky hand and stuff like that. Look at that. Here is the God Bomb. And here is the Accursed, yes. So these are awesome. If you're looking to get into Thor, this is a good spot right here to read. Thor is awesome, and that is very awesome too. And yeah, so this and J. Michael Straczynski's Thors are definitely my favorite, but I've not read like every Thor comic, so and here's the last thing I have. This is the Black Cat Omnibus. It's a little big, a little big. It's gonna break my lap, but it's gonna be great. This has I've read this. I've read Black Cat 2019, the 1 through 12. Amazing. Jed MacKay, one of my favorite writers currently working right now. Fantastic, so good. Black Cat, this is the sequel series, which is 10 issues from 2020. Have not read that. Black Cat Annual, I have read that. That's good. Giant Size Black Cat Infinity Score, I don't believe I've read that. Iron Cat, I've definitely not read. I've got some stuff from Black Cat Annual, and you also have a free comic book a day Spidey story. And yeah, this is incredible. Black Cat is one of my favorite characters, so I'm very excited, and Jed MacKay is one of my favorite authors, currently working at Marvel, so it's a match made in heaven. Anyways, thank you for watching. We enjoyed this video with me rambling on about comics for like 5 years, and yeah, love comics, love reading them, and yeah, I'll see you all soon.